And one last graph to look at. This one's going to be pretty cool. Notice it's not our normal rose curve equation because now we have a constant term. So, as before, if we have the 4 theta, we can say that 4 theta equals pi over 2, and thusly theta equals pi over 8. So let's graph this rectangular trig function. There we have our axis of symmetry at 1. So let's say boom, boom, like that. There's 1, da 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 1. And then we have our amplitude of 5. So let's go up 5 from there to hit 6. And let's go down 5 from there to hit -4. And we know that we're going to be putting our increments every pi over 8. So let's go ahead and sketch in those values. So let's go ahead and sketch in this graph. We're dealing with a cosine function. So we're going to start at our maximum, then go to the axis, and then to our minimum, etc., etc. I goofed that last one up, etc., etc. So sketch that in. And there you have it. It is green, it is vibrant, it is ready to go. So let's now sketch in this graph. Now here's the deal. This time, notice we do have important values at our pi over 8 pieces, which means when we go to our graph, we're going to want to actually show that. So I've got a polar curve here now, or some polar axes rather, with all those lines shown in. And let's go ahead and sketch this graph. When theta is 0, r is 6. And so I get my first point right there. Then when theta is pi over 8, I'm at 1. So I'm going to hit that little feller right there. When theta is pi over 4, I'm at -4, which means instead of being up pi over 4, I am down negative along the 5 pi over 4. And what is that value along the 5 pi over 4? Well, that is 4. So I am going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. So let's sketch this in. So I'm going big pedal in. I'm going to, again, key piece here. I'm crossing the pole, which means I'm going to hit that point right there. So maybe you can kind of see this. I'm going to go boom, like that. So notice now I have a big pedal with an R of 6 and a smaller pedal with an R of 4. Let's keep going through and see where I end up. Cross the pole again after that point and then go to the 1 at 3 pi over 8. So at 3 pi over 8, I'm going to hit that 1 right there. To get there, I'm crossing the pole, and then where am I going to go? Well, at pi over 2, I'm up at 6. So now I'm going to this point up there from down here. So I'm going from a 4 pedal through the pole right there. I'm going to continue to curve up to that 6 pedal up top along pi over 2. Then I'm going to go back down to another 1 value at 5 pi over 8. I'm hitting that 1 right there. And then crossing the pole again. 3 pi over 4, I have a -4. So instead of 3 pi over 4, I'm down on the negative version of that line. So I'm right there. So again, I can curve this down, cross that 1. That was bad. I'm going to redo that. I'm going to curve this down, cross the pole. That was bad again. It's kind of hard to do if you want to do it all in like one smooth go, but it's kind of satisfying when you get it. There you go. Whew, okay, so there's another short pedal. Then I'm going to cross the pole again and go back to another 1 at 7 pi over 8. So notice at each of these pi over 8 values, I'm getting a little 1 value there, which is kind of nice, good to know. And then where do I go after there? Well, you could probably identify it with symmetry at this point, but at pi, I'm again back up at 6, giving me that point right there. So here I'm taking my small pedal in, crossing the pole, hitting the 1, and curving out right there. After pi, go to another 1 at 9 pi over 8, so there's that piece right there. And then 5 pi over 4 is giving me another negative small pedal, so I'm up here along pi over 4 since I'm negative. So I'm going to curve in, hit that 0, go through the pole, hit that small pedal right there. I'm going to cross the pole again right there. I'm going to go to another 1 at 11 pi over 8. Again, all these pi over 8s are getting those 1s right there. And then I'm going to go up to a 6 at 3 pi over 2, which is right there. So I'm going to curve down, cross the pole, hit that 1, curve out to a big pedal. And then finally, another 1 at 13 pi over 8. So that guy right there. And then a 4, another small pedal at 7 pi over 4. But again, it's negative, so I'm up on the opposite side right there. So curve through, hit that small pedal, and we're almost there. Cross the pole again, go to our last 1 at 15 pi over 8 right there, and then finally end back where we started, 2 pi, big radius of 6. So this is going to curve down, cross the pole, hit the 1, and finish off right where we started. And we get this interesting little big pedal, small pedal concoction. Notice we have 4 theta. 4 times 2 is 8. We have 8 pedals. Some are big, some are small, coming from the fact that we have a constant term changing things. But I think it's pretty cool. And I think it's cool as well to think about how it was drawn out, because it was like boom, 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 boom. It's like each time you're alternating from a big to a small, and you're following like this perfect symmetry, like this perfect smooth curve. I think it's super cool, but there you have it. We're done. We're finished, I guess, is grammatically correct.